Just had to let a sweet little fur baby out. Of course, as soon as I go live, then the fur baby wants out. But nobody's here yet anyways. So, disclaimer like always, I don't really have any topics set for this live. I don't have any script or anything. This is for entertainment purposes only. I just wanted to hopefully have a chat with some of you guys Saturday night. It's a little later than usual, but I thought maybe I would catch some people. Yeah, maybe I should have a better title, but I'm sure I'm going to repeat it a few times. Why I made the title the way it is. Somebody who was born in this city, like, uh, is often mispronounced. And I know that other cities are too. I'd be interested in hearing what other cities are often mispronounced. I'm sure there's more. Like, I know there was one out west. I can't think of it, but it was something like I've never heard it pronounced this way that somebody was like, oh, it's actually, da da da. It wasn't Des Moines, or was it something like that? But it's easy. Like, a lot of people might not be able to say Louisville easily unless you see that Loo-uh-vulle. Like, just say it like that, Loo-uh-vulle. That's how everybody from Louisville says it. And it's just something that, like, a lot of I don't see any other city butchered as much as that city. So that's why I put it in the title. I have no real topic, but there's been a lot of topics throughout the last few days that I'm probably going to touch upon. Like, we've been talking about a lot going on with Kentucky, and of other things. Like, I made a video yesterday about how people tell you to just buy investment properties if you need to make some money. So I'm kind of curious, if I make it horizontal, can I see? Okay, I can't make it horizontal. I don't know if I could see a chat if it's horizontal because I had a tripod that's like horizontal only. So, how is everybody? I want to call out the two people in a chat. Nobody has been in chats before where I was one of very few people, and then they're like, "Who are they?" Something. I promise I won't do that to anybody. So earlier today, I did make a live about Titus. I don't know how many people in here are gonna, quite a few, but definitely not the majority of my subscribers, I believe, have followed me because of Titus. But hi, Olivia. How are you doing tonight? I made a video earlier today regarding this emaciated dog that was on his property. And of course, the only comment I got from it was from Aaron, whose videos I was referencing. And I went to put a link to the videos I was referencing. And he had left a comment that was like, "Is it too early to make a joke?" And I said, "No." He like made a not funny, making fun of me. Oh, okay. You're good. I'm glad you're good. Hello, Zion. How are you? Hi, Jason. How are you doing? No real topics for tonight, but I did touch upon a lot of things in the last few days that I'm probably going to talk about. And hey, Catherine, how was your week? Um, yeah, I have no idea, Edmundo. But so right now I'm in the city that I was born in at a friend's house. And I just wanted to say, if anybody has trouble pronouncing it, if anybody does that Louisville, that weird ass Louisville stuff, like you watch sports announcers, like they tend to know it said Loo-uh-vulle. And I'd like to know, any of you know of any other major cities that are mispronounced, like heavily mispronounced, like people always say it wrong or tend to say it wrong? Because I'd really be interested. And we definitely wouldn't do it. Is it laggy? Oh no, am I laggy? Oh, can somebody else tell me if I'm lagging or not? Thank you, Zach. You spent a summer in E-Town. E-Town is where Johnny Depp is from. Did you know that? You're in New Orleans, Zach? Is that what you're saying? Oh, Mr. Carey. Hey, how are you doing tonight, Mr. Carey? I'm glad it's not. I have really good coverage, it seems like. E-Town is a neat town. I've done a lot of Instacart shopping in E-Town, and it's like 45 minutes south of Louisville, I believe. Yeah, that's where Johnny Depp is from. But yeah, for some reason, my heart really fell in love with like Central Kentucky. And I brought up recently, like, I almost feel kind of bad about it because my channel, like, I made so many videos about how Kentucky was so great. But I think I also was fair and made it up. Like, there are definitely places one would want to avoid, like any state, if they're choosing to move here. Kentucky, if anybody's interested in buying land, like, you search land, you will see quickly Kentucky is one of the cheapest places. And there are reasons for that. One being there's a big lack of opportunity. And it was just really interesting to me, the conversation I had with a coworker, and this was a young person, like this person could be my daughter, and like there's definitely I know there's racist people here. Like I want to say there, it happens a lot less than people think, There's definitely, like, better communities than others. There's this viral TikTok, this is, like, a month or 2 old. You're still the same, Mr. Carey. It's good to see you. Yeah. And, you didn't know pronounced echo? There's this viral story where this woman goes to a house party. It's like a neighborhood cookout, and she's new to the neighborhood. And she brings this antipasta dish. I'm sure some of you know what I'm talking about. And I thought it was like in the comments, somebody was like, this woman probably thought she was moving to one of the nice small towns in Virginia because there are good small towns that would be welcoming to, new people. And then there's ones that aren't, that are just like full of bullies. Like if you aren't from around there, you're never going to really fit in there. And, if you get on the wrong person's bad side, you're gonna have to pay for that, and it's really unfortunate because we felt like we lost whatever sense of community we had in a small town in Indiana because it was just, like, changing in a matter of 10 years with the immigration crisis. Oh, hey, Aaron. Oh, hello from Mississippi. Hey, Frank B., you've been in here before, right? The heat there is unreal, was not used to the humidity. Where are you? Well, I don't wanna make you say where you're from. I don't know where you're from, but, I'm used to humidity. I did live in California as a child, and I do remember it being very different, the heat and, like, how it was cool every night, like, the desert of Southern California, the desert, what am I trying to think of? Climate is so different. I knew people that moved here to start a mushroom farm. They used to try to grow mushrooms in caves, but I guess that didn't work out. But yeah. So, oh, Aaron, I'm glad you're in here. Louisville is pronounced Loo-uh-vulle. Practice it with me right now. Loo-uh-vulle. I know you can do it. It's just something as somebody who was born here. And I'd like to correct myself if I'm saying any major cities too. So, like, let me know. Is there any other major city that you know of that's mispronounced as much as Louisville? Because nobody that's from Louisville, nobody that lives here says Louisville or Louisville, and it like drives me nuts. And honestly, one reason it drives me nuts is because my mom was gonna name me Lewis if I was so she had this annoying thing she did. She knew I didn't like, and she'd always call me Louie or Louis is like a little name, but she knew I didn't like it. So it was like a running joke of me being like, don't call me that. So, anyways, yes, Colorado, Mexico, Nevada, zero humidity there, right, Echo? One thing I love about wood stoves, oh, that dry heat, that wood stove really helps dry it out when you live in a place that's like prone to mildew because of the humidity. I pronounce different too, Lucky. You don't pronounce it Loo-uh-vulle. Mr. Carey, how dare you? You live in Kentucky. You have these things. Um, Zach, you're in New Orleans. That's cool. Oh, John, that's so sweet. Love you too. Louisville. Hmm. Hi, Scott. How are you doing? Edidia, how are you? I hope I pronounced that right. Hey, Zeus. Hey, just wanted to say I figured out that YouTube is censoring me. Some comments show up and some don't. One thing that helps with that, like if you're ever in a comment section and it says like 4 comments, but there's one, and you go to the 3 dots and click newest, sometimes that will help show up. But you can't do that in like a comment thread. You can't click newest like when it's under a comment not showing up. But that is something that I found helpful in other comment sections. Aaron, how do you know that? Aaron said Titus, Aaron is beyond category. And for people that don't know that, I should probably be calling him what his title, his screen name is. Titus kicked Archie Thursday night. I believe you if you're saying it, but just asking you, like, how do you know that? Did you see it? Did somebody tell you? My English teacher talked like she scolded me a lot, Joey said. Oh, Joey, I'm sorry. I hope I'm not bringing up memories for you. Click off if so. That's why I always used to think when I was a waitress in particular and like some guy had a really nasty tune with me, I must remind him of an ex-girlfriend or some woman he doesn't like. Hi, you sound nice, Marvin said. Thank you, Marvin. Somebody was just reminded them of a school teacher that scolded them a lot. Pura Vida, she is from Kentucky. Yeah. New Orleans is the other city pronounced incorrectly a lot. I am not from there. Okay. Oh, Zach, I am so dense. I am so sorry. Like, if you don't know me, I am open about how I'm kind of slow, okay? I'm not just neurologically atypical. I am slow. I've got a lot of health issues. I had IV sedation for weeks because of heavy metal poisoning, all sorts of heavy metals, lead, mercury. He's like, what is it? Like, what is it? Antimony, some weird shit that's like found in old tin. He's like, did you weld? Like, were you around welding? Actually, yeah, I was. My grandpa welded and I played in the basement. So anyways, um, I have a lot of brain fog issue. Archie is your dog, right, Aaron? Am I correct? It's a dog. I just thought dog. And then once you asked me, do I know who it is? So what is it? Nolans, Zach? Is that how you say it? I could look up how to say it. Yoder, Anna, how are you? Make you give you the managing mod. There you go, girl. Right now, Nora, I work in a factory. I work in auto manufacturing on an assembly line. I'm just a peon factory worker. Okay, Aaron, so spill the beans. Is if you're gonna do it, do it. Were you, I'm assuming you were there with your dog. But I have to ask, like, what are the details? And um that's really unfortunate. I don't doubt that at all. It's the way he treats animals. And I've been calling that out for a while. Like all the animals that would come and go, like how the animals just come and go. And like you'll see a dog for a while and then you never see it again. And once again, I don't watch every one of their videos, but even I have caught on to that. I'm right about that, right? Like that's what happens, and it's just a problem in the countryside. It's a problem with country folk. There's so many good, salt of the earth type people, but it balances itself out. Even where there's like the best of the best people living off the land, there's always going to be people that are bad apples that spoil the bunch. There's always going to be people that ruin it. That's why I wouldn't ever want to start like a commune. Even though in a perfect world, I would love to. I would love to try to get a handful of other families together, buy a few dozen acres, and like work together and each focus on a few crops or more than a few, but you know, and each have your own thing that you're like focusing on to share with the others. Maybe each taking care of a different kind of life, a different kind of animal. So, but anyways, it's too hard to do that because there's so many crazy people. Even though I want to believe deep down inside, everybody innocent baby that was once damaged, and we all have the ability to change. I draw a hard line at the children and like it really is like there's that quote, I forget who said it, you can tell a character of a man by the way he treats animals. The same thing with children and animals. Us girls were made to please men and be their pets, like we're meant to serve them and we're nothing without them. Aline. Well, I've been married for 15 years and it really does go both ways. Like you know, I'm not gonna like yuck anybody's yum here, but like you need to be there for each other. Life is hard. And I would never want to just like sit around and be a pampered pet for somebody. Like my husband worked so I could stay at home and homeschool our first two kids. I went to work full time for a few years. Things could change whenever. Like in that's the beauty of a good partnership. That's what marriage is. It's a partnership, right? It's not about being taken care of. Sorry, girl. And I've been open, and I know this is like troll behavior going on, probably most likely, but I've been open about the fact that like I've been there, done that. I tried that when I was 18 years old. You know, like the hypergamy stuff. It's glorified prostitution at a certain point. You know, it really is. I'm just not built for that, and I don't think most people are. Zach, I'm not going to say what automaker quit the job I would. I've been there for like 18 months now, and I'm probably on my way out. I had a surgery in April, and it's been really hard on me since I've been back, honestly. I've cried about it on live already, but I'll talk all about it whenever I am done working there because I do have a lot to say. A lot of good things to say. I love the fact the company I work for is golden. They haven't raised insurance premiums in 15 years. I pay $56 a month for dental, vision included, health insurance for my great Anthem health insurance. They're amazing. I don't work Labor Day. I'm still going to get holiday pay. Like you don't even go in on a holiday, you still get the holiday pay. I have never had a job like that. Then again, once again, I haven't worked many full-time jobs. Yeah, Zach, me too. I had a 1983 Firebird I bought when I was 17 years old, and I rebuilt. I paid to have somebody put a new motor in and rebuilt the transmission. And it wasn't a Trans Am, but I got the same motor that a Trans Am would have. That car was my baby. But then I got pregnant and had to get rid of it. And I still think about that all the time and how I bought that car for $500 not running, put $3,500 into it, I believe. And you know, this was like I had to replace a radiator a few times. The guy couldn't get the radiator right for whatever reason. Anyways, I carbureted engines personally. I can't wait to have an old car like that again. That's probably going to be several years road, but like right now I have a little four-cylinder, very reliable, one of the good brands, one of the brands that's like known to, you know, last hundreds of thousands of miles. And I've actually worked in quite a few, 4 places that manufactured auto parts. So I've worked in places that manufactured like Honda and Kia. And Anyways, once I don't work in it anymore, I'd love to talk about, no, Zach, the other one. Oh, thanks, Hez. You work 78 hours a week. What do you do, Wes? Do you mind saying, or can you say like a general thing if you don't want to disclose it? I'm sorry to hear you work so much. Too much. That's inhumane. Sorry, I'm not. If okay. Did Aaron leave? Aaron, are you making a video about him kicking the dog? I just didn't see anything recently. Hi, Ricky, if you're still here. Hi, Evil. You too. I feel like I have to say love you back to everybody. I don't care, you know. You love my. From Ireland, Jerry said. Jerry, I saw this viral video. I think it was a few years old, but it was so funny to me. It was an Irish man who passed away, unfortunately, but he had made this recording before he passed away, knowing he was going to pass away soon. That made it sound like he was like trying to get out of his coffin. Have you seen that? It's so funny. And it was so precious and sweet how, like, there's so many people, first of all, around his grave. He was obviously very loved, and he left those loved ones and those moments with the funny memory. I'm sure he was a hoot, and people were like, oh, that's so Irish. If you're in here still. How do I tell my wife that, oh, Adam, I don't know if I'm the person to ask for advice about that. I think you need to really consider what exactly you want with the rest of your life. Let me see. I'm like, Titus kicked a dog, Carrie asked. That's what Aaron said. He kicked Archie, which is one of Aaron's dogs, right? He has two? I got a Corolla about 20 years. Hugo said, I believe it. My 2010 Corolla running great has said, yep, they're great cars. And it makes more sense to get a car. Like the last car we bought had over 200,000 miles. And I know a lot of people are like, that's crazy. But when you're poor, like I'd rather get a car that's like 2012, one of those brands that's known to run easily 300, 400,000 miles. I'd rather get one of those brands, you know, run like $5,000, $7,000 and like, no, it's going to like pass the time we'll be able to pay it off. We try to have a good down payment too, right? It makes me sad how many young people are in these bad car note situations. There's like young people at work because they walked into it, you know, they like walked into a bad interest rate and like cars at the elevated prices that they are now, they'll never be able to do like what we did, you know. It makes me sad. I like old Impalas. Oh, I do too, Yoder. That's so funny. No, oh my gosh, I'll never forget in the old town we lived in, there was like an Impala for sale forever. It's like, I don't know, 70 something probably. It was so cool. It was like some crazy like orange or something in this car lot. That thing was so cool. I love all old cars. Like I said, I have a thing for carbureted engines. My car I drive right now is a 2015, so it's not carbureted. I wanted to have an El Camino like Chicanos. El Caminos are cool. You see those a lot less. I used to see those a lot more. Lifter Dave, 2015 Chevy Silverado 200 runs great. Good. I'm glad you had a good experience with that. We were super disappointed in it's a Chevrolet Eclipse, right? We got it brand new. It was so disappointing. And then they sent us a thing. It's like your VIN number is included in this thing that like your engine is bad. Oh, that makes sense. That's why we've had to get a new catalytic converter like 3 times before 100,000. And then they were like, no, we rescind that. You're not a part of that thing that we would have given you a bunch of money back. And it was so disappointing. And I was like, never again with Chevy personally. But I'm glad to hear anybody's had a good experience with a newer car as somebody who's helping to build that. See, 2015 to me is a newer car. I'm like, I know we're in the year 2025, but you know, hi the Hulk. Oh, Edme Superior White Goddess, please. That's not cool. I actually 25% like native Colombian, so I guess I'm not that superior. I'm 75% superior right now. I shouldn't have said that. But yeah, how are you guys doing in the chat? What should we talk about now? I guess Aaron has left us. Oh, thank you, Mr. Carey. I have like 4 members right now and I feel bad. I've done 1 live. I'll do another one, you know, now that's coming up first week of the month. I should probably do 2 members only lives each month to make it more worth it. Okay. You wish you could buy a Ukrainian woman on eBay. Yeah, well, you know, they have hi Trenton, how are you? They have a bunch of really interesting documentaries on male brides. I know that's like a joke, somebody trolling in the chat, but it is really interesting to me how men do it. They just like outwardly do it. They'll like literally buy a bride. They'll do that. But then there's like other men seem to not understand, like, that men's choice. They literally decide to buy a woman, and instead they're like, "Oh my gosh, Yoder, sweet. Oh, that's so nice of you." Oh my gosh, 10 memberships sent by Anna. Thank you, Anna. Trying all over the place with my channel, and I live in Kentucky. I don't know if you care to take a look. I talk about recent subjects a lot on lives. I do more live streams than edited videos. I'm really into bedding, gardening, anything political, social. So I wish Aaron was still in here because I wanted to talk to Aaron about how I went to link, if anybody in here watched my video today, Aaron brought to light a bunch of stuff, including Titus's emaciated dog, and said earlier in here that Titus kicked his own dog, like the dog that Aaron owns. I don't like saying that about dogs, you know, Aaron's canine family member. And I guess he bounced. Aaron, if you're still in here, like, but he likes to do that. He likes to do the breadcrumbing thing. You know, that's his style, obviously. If you're not subscribed already, like, he has that channel Beyond Category. Maybe he'll post a video about it if you're interested in hearing more. I have seen lots of tornadoes, Hugo. Once when I was 10, 12 years old, there was one a mile away from us. It was like when you're really close, it's like pea soup green, like yucky green color. Green. It's crazy. I had a friend whose house was ruined in that tornado. Nobody was unalive. But and we weren't from Henryville, Indiana, but we lived fairly near there when there was a bad tornado there several years ago. Absolutely devastating, so sad. And I've seen funnel clouds from several miles away. Like, I can't think of how many times. It didn't used to be Tornado Alley here. Right before we moved here, it was still like over in Kansas or something, right? And now it's like, oh, in like the last handful of years, all of a sudden, because of the changes in weather patterns, now Central Key is like the new Tornado Alley. What does breadcrumbing mean? Please explain. Like when you give very little information to entice somebody to either pursue for more information or, you know, stick around hoping to get more information. Aaron has been doing really well recently. I was impressed. He wears the same checkered shirt as my husband. LOL. That's funny. Yeah, I don't know if you saw my video earlier, Yoda, because I know you've been busy today, but I did give him credit. I said I'm for saying he was working with Aaron. I think it's clear he's not. I mean, sorry, working with Titus. It's clear he's not to me now, but that yeah, he's been doing a great job bringing to light a lot of stuff, and that emaciated dog really bothered me. Jonathan, I've seen him in southern Indiana and Kentucky. The one I was talking about was Henryville, was like the really bad one where a bunch of people passed away. It was so sad. We lived north of that. It was like 2015 or something. Anyways, tornadoes really are like I lived through a pretty bad hurricane. What was the hurricane would have went through South Florida in 2004 or 5, and we were without power for 2 weeks. We were sitting against the wall at one point, and I felt the building move. And they're designed to move, right? They're supposed to do that. That's actually a good thing. But when you feel it happen, it's really crazy. And then we didn't have power for 2 weeks. We lived on the Intracoastal. If you didn't know what that is, it's like some inlets of water. It's like ocean water, but it's like inland and rivers, kind of like Venice. I wish Fort Lauderdale was like Venice. But like the people across from us got power within a few days, and like they had power, but we were without power, running water for 2 weeks. It was insane. Nothing really at the store. Like I'll never forget going to Publix and like the whole wine aisle was gone. It was just funny. One of the first things to go, it was like water and wine. Cooking using tea light candles. That's when we decided to move up to Orlando, and that's where I met my husband. So everything happens for a reason. But we never want to go through this again. No. And then you're paying for, you know, you're paying extra to live, to like get gas for a generator if you're lucky to like have access to that. And really, really horrible thing to go through, really scary. And you understand what a lot of people live like in the world. Okay. Aaron commented again. I'm going to read it. Aaron is beyond category. I'm sorry, everybody. Stephanie just texted me Skipper's latest video, which is interesting because she texted me a cease and desist order, yet she continues to text me. Of course, because she does what she wants, clearly. We all know. Oops. I always almost accidentally remove people because I'm like, I dreamt that the sun had exploded and burned the world. Oh, that sounds scary, Hugo. Are you serious? A deceased insist. Wow, Mr. Carey said. Billy Clancy. I feel bad for anyone who loses a house or family member in a tornado. That would be that would be such a scary way to go. It would. I couldn't imagine a worse way other than drowning. I think drowning would, in my opinion, I think drowning would be the worst. Carrie and Lydia, who do you think Slipper Jones is? I don't know, Aaron. Enlighten me. I called him out. Whoever it was, he, she was always like lurking in my chat. And one time, I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? What do you want from me? I'm not scared of you. I'm not going to stop saying what I say. I'm not going to stop doing. I know that I'm on the right side of things. Like I speak out about this man with this past. And like worst thing they could do is figure out my name and figure out my past. I will tell you guys everything I've ever done that anybody could consider like negative, bad of character. Like I'm open about it because I want to help other people on the same path. You know, I'm not the only person to done the things that I did. Is it Ivan? Was it Ivan? Billy Clancy said. Yoder, beyond category. Again, are you sure that's her and not Tracy? Because cease and desist is Tracy's words. Mr. Carey, I subbed to Beyond Category months ago. Ran into his channel looking up Titus. Yes, and he made a second one. Are you subbed to the second one, Mr. Carey? I don't know if he had this one months ago. I never dug into who Skipper was, but Skipper was not very can hear. They never did anything wrong enough to get blocked, right? Or are they blocked? I don't know if one of you guys blocked them for sure. But like they were always cordial enough. But I felt this like, I see you. I mean, they're probably in here right now. That's what I ask for when I go live on YouTube, right? Like there's liable to be lurkers. I'm putting myself out there. Anybody that wants to watch can. It's a public platform. But the way they had to like say things and let it be known. And like one time what he was like, so and so, like let him up on your live. And I was like, I'm not letting anybody with you. I probably shouldn't let anybody up on my live, period, because somebody could sabotage your channel if they wanted to, you know, say or do the wrong thing. I think it says husband. No, beyond category. That's not my husband. I don't know how to prove that, and I don't feel compelled to. Wasn't Skipper making content even was about this? Yeah. My husband is the most laid back guy in the world. We don't even have a computer at home. We literally have no computer to make the edited type content that he does. I'm pretty sure he's using stuff. I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure he's not using stuff that's on a phone. And that's like Photoshop type stuff. Lucky he brought a guy in here trying to say because he is black or you don't like black people and I block them. Oh, yeah, it did just have something to do with black people. When I've been clear, I'm all about calling out the racist people, especially the racist Christians. I had this lady that like I was enjoying being a pen pal with, this woman who's like all up Titus's ass, and I'm fine with that because live and let live, right? And she's always like trying to make excuses to me about it. And then when she like came to me about the Black Town live I made, and she's like, this is why people want, or why this is why people want an all white town. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with looking at all people in a certain way, period. Like that's racism. You are racist. You're a racist. How Jesus-like is that? I think Skipper Jones might also be Stephanie or Truth the horse. Who is Truth the horse? I don't Beyond category, are you sober right now? You're not really making much sense. I don't know in what world would me or my family or my husband benefit from making the type of content that Skipper does. I haven't watched all of Skipper's videos. I couldn't sit through all of Skipper's videos. I watched one and I was like, that's pretty goofy. And if my husband did something like Skipper Jones, he would never get laid. It's not cool to me. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Men that go back and forth with people on the internet and like start things on the internet, and I don't mean like advocacy, like helping with things that matter. I mean like, you know, men that just like want to stir the pot and stir up drama. Like when you made the comment that you made earlier on my video, Aaron, I went to go link to your content. I'm like, oh, I was talking about his videos. I should post a link to it. And then I see that you commented and was like, is it too early to make a joke? I'm like, I'm going to wait and see what this joke is. Now, of course, you have to like say something like make fun of the fact that it's a free work country and I'm on YouTube. I can make whatever content I want to, and I choose to talk misogyny sometimes because it is a real problem, and you have to bring it up, poke fun at me. We're talking about keeping innocent, vulnerable beings away from Titus Moore, somebody with a history of bestiality and being very inappropriate around children. And I really don't think, I think like the corruption does go deeper. I think Titus has to know somebody, or like he knows somebody that knows the only reason why he could be carted off to the freaking hospital bleeding from his peen, having a child involved and having no charges pressed against him. Like clearly there's probably like something going on. I really hope you like help figure that out, Aaron, but I have no and going back and forth with you about unproductive things. You don't agree with me or what I do, like gonna make fun of me when I actually was just like saying sorry and like promoting your channel. I'm sorry, like, aren't you 50 years old? Grow up. Like, seriously, grow up. The number one cause of unaliving and pregnant women in our country, in the US of A, is the man who got her pregnant. So don't come at me about how goofy my misogyny content is until you can sit here with a straight face and like, you're not concerned about that? That doesn't concern you? Are you one of those men that think, what did she do? She must have done something. They all do something, right? That's what I'm talking about. It's that right there is how you'll never really take me as seriously as somebody who has a dick and balls in between their legs. It's absolutely asinine. It's so dumb and stupid. And because we've been oppressed for so long, just in your lifetime, Aaron, in your freaking lifetime, women were given rights, like being able to have a credit card. Like, do you understand that? It was, since you were alive, we were made equal on a legal level as you. We still have a long way to go socially. All things didn't just fall into place, you know? And like, yeah, I'll continue to speak out about it, especially as long as there's like middle-aged 50-something-year-old men walking around acting like children when a serious topic is at end. Always having to like try to, you don't make me feel stupid, okay? Aaron, you're never going to make me feel stupid, okay? You try to accomplish that all you want. That's never going to happen. I think anybody knows that the two, okay? No, it's not funny to me when you're making fun of a topic that I consider very serious, and I am going to use whatever little platform I have to talk about the fact that the number one cause of unaliving in pregnant country is the man who got her pregnant, and it is because of this deep-seated hate, and it's in women, it's in all of us. We need to all unpack it. I say that all the time. It's not about being a misandrist. It's not about being a man-hater. And like, you know, it's just normal to hate women. Like, it's not normal to hate men. We all call that shit out. We all call the third wave feminists out for being bitchy to men. We do. I do. It's not fair to like be mad at a man for like you just can't win. I understand that. Like, you just recently started to feel what it feels like as a woman. You just can't win. You just can't win as a woman. You can't win. You literally can't win. Skinny, you're too skinny. You're anything but skinny. You're not skinny. You're bad for not being skinny. You literally can't win no matter what moves you make as a woman, no matter what you do. Men are just starting to get a taste of that. And I think a lot of them are mad at that. And if they would really look at us as their sisters in this world, is like the counterparts, is their other halves, because we're here to complement each other and see like, wow, this is, you think women are bitchy? I think a lot of women are bitchy too. Like, there's a reason for that. They're like corrupted by a bunch of evil, horrible men. We're 11 years old getting catcalled. 11 years old it starts. 11 years old, you can't leave the house without having somebody. These are the issues we need to talk about. And like, it is healing as a woman to be able to talk about it. And it's cathartic, and it helps other people too. So I'm not here to just like shame men. If you're a good man, you know you're not one of the men I'm talking about. But the fact is, like, there was a recent family annihilation, and the woman was the one who committed it. And for the first few days, they assumed it was the man. And it's really interesting. There's always somebody getting all worked up over it in the comment section. Like, I don't know if this is what you choose to spend your energy on, fine. But like, the reason why they assumed it was a man is because 91% of the time it's the man. And it's just like, it's not about being a misandrist. It's about like making logical assumptions based off facts and statistics and reasoning, what you know to have happened beforehand. But they did that investigation. They didn't just say, oh, this happens most of the time. It was him. Close. Case closed. They did the investigation and figured out it wasn't. And now it is the woman. There's still men in every comment section crying about how, you know, and it's the same men. Like, you all need to take your own mental health more seriously. That's what really is going on. Like, Henry Martin equals Skipper Jones. Like, I don't know who Henry Martin is. I had a pretty good day. No. Oh, hey, HK. How are you? Oh, well, we're not talking about anything really in particular. I'm a little, yeah, I was just going off about something. But I don't want any man that follows me to feel berated. But I also think that you guys can, you know, my heart, and you know that it is about our future and doing better. Like, we inherit the earth from our grandchildren. It's one of my favorite quotes. Is Chief, gosh, I forget. It was an Indian chief said that quote. No, Amar, it is not. That's what I just said. I don't want to make all men like I'm just in here like talking shit about men. It's somebody that made a comment about other content that I made in the past. And once again, once the number one cause of death and isn't like the man that got them pregnant, like that is just like one symptom. Like it's everywhere. And as a woman, like you literally like I've had people that I like having conversation with tell me that they think women shouldn't be able to vote. You know, we all thrive off of respect. Like there's a thing like men, you love men like through respecting them, like they thrive off being respected. Women like to be respected too. Like you like a good healthy woman, a woman who is whole. And yeah, make me a sandwich, Jim said. Actually, my husband makes the best sandwiches. My husband, I've told him he needs to open a sandwich shop because he will, oh my gosh, you don't understand. He'll like go all out and like make the coolest recipes. He makes like this Mediterranean quesadillas with balsamic glaze reduction. That's why I've been with him for 20 years. Happy wife, happy life, happy spouse, happy house. I like that saying better because it does go both ways. You should try to serve each other, right? Like, right? See you later, DP. Bye. Hi, Khaled. I want a bologna with Miracle Whip, please. I heard somebody say, you need something to do. Go make a bologna sandwich and put cheese on it or something. That was so funny. Gosh, I forget her name. Oh, this lady with Web Sleuths. I listen to that live almost every night, at least at work. I am not from Orlando. I was born in Kentucky. I lived in Orlando for a few years. I've lived in all over Florida and in California and in Indiana. Can your husband make me a sandwich sometime? That sounds good with balsamic vinegar on it. Okay, Billy. Um, she got a husband. Those are horrible to have. No, and that's why I was passionate about unpacking all of this. And I realized, like, and I've been complaining to my husband for years I've been complaining to him for years about all these things I brought up. And like, it's like the underlying, and it's not about me. I know I'm not the only woman that experiences it. Like, everywhere I go, especially a younger person, I could not have anybody tell me, like, I mean it. I said, I'm not kidding. Dozens, if not hundreds of times was told I need to get a nose job. Men don't walk around with a ethnic bigger nose and like get constantly told every single day of their young lives they should get a nose job. You're allowed to walk around with a kind of big nose, you know? It's because women are so objectified. The first thing, and I had to unpack this. I used to be more like this too. You see something, you like automatically like see a flaw, or you're like, oh, she'd be so much prettier if, no, if only what we just like accept people as they come, like as they are. Wouldn't that be a great world if people could just be who they wanted to be? If it wasn't an insult to be feminine, if people lip the fuck out over their little boys getting fingernail polish. And I understand if you don't want the chemicals on their nails, I get that, but do make child safe fingernail polish. But like people didn't flip out over their little boys feminine because it's a bad thing to be feminine. That's because it's a bad thing to be feminine. People don't flip out when girls are masculine. It's okay to be a tomboy. And I'm not saying nobody never made fun of for being a tomboy. I'm sure they were. But in general, people embrace and accept that. Women can dress like men. Women can put on a suit and be sexy. Oh, that's like high fashion. A man puts on a dress, it's a joke, or he has to be something, right? In a perfect world, honestly, I think men should be able to wear skirts or dresses. What about that? Men should be able to wear whatever the fuck they want, make their hair whatever they want. And then if we just accepted people as they were, they wouldn't be like pushing certain things limits with their bodies in certain ways, and like things would be safer and healthier across the board. We could just accept people. Men could have long hair and makeup in the 80s. Like what happened to that? Like it's weird to people are so against certain things. And once again, I see both sides. I've said before, like we need to have a definition of what a woman is legally. Once you start like around with the definitions of words like women, legalese, it becomes it's not good. Some rappers wear dresses and think they aren't a joke. HK, I think it's a form of self-expression, but I do understand seeing like, things like happen more and more and being like, okay, is this a symptom of something happening? But that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't, well, Joe, you're in here. If you're talking to me about my opinions, thank you, Mr. Carey. Don't mean I swallow it, just burn the crap out of it. What are you talking about, Yoder? No, I need to scroll up what he's talking about. I almost removed Billy's comment until I reread it. I do not work out a lot, no. I don't know what you're talking about, Anna. I don't wanna scroll up anymore. Kilts. Yes, Homer, that's a good point. Kilts, or there's other, like, tribal people out there with, like, skirt-like attire, whatever, like, way more masculine than most men in pants. But I'm just saying, like, I think people should be allowed to express themselves, and, I'm I have a video years ago, like, there's male fish growing eggs. There's things in our water, in my opinion, that are possibly maybe they're feminine other species. I'll just leave it at that because I don't want to insult anybody and I don't want to make anybody feel bad in their own skin. I have PCOS. I'm a high testosterone female. I have had facial hair my whole life. Like I'm telling you, I'm an open book. Like there's plenty I would change about myself if I could, and I believe as a product of my environment. I think I would have a bigger chest if I didn't have my PCOS and my imbalanced hormones. It's the cards I was dealt. It is what it is, like, and I only felt bad about it for as long as I did because of the way everybody and their brother out, especially every single man I ever boy, when we broke up, they'd be like, "Oh, you have a flat chest." Okay. No, I disagree. Men should stop trying to be everything but men. We are men and should be proud of our role in society. We are protectors and should lean into that rather than trying to be feminine. I think that, okay, so Chris, this before, there's feminine and masculine energy in all of us. Most men are masculine dominant, but I think, like I was just saying, maybe it's environmental, maybe not. Maybe it's a sign of the end of times, but like there seems to be an increase in feminine dominant men, and that should be fine and accepted. They should be allowed to be feminine if that's what they are. You can take a man like that and just make him what you're saying. You know what I mean? In my opinion, I think people are born the way that they are. There's always going to be exceptions. We are products of our environment, but if somebody's core is more feminine than masculine, that's just the way it is. Say I'm a high testosterone female, but I feel like I'm definitely feminine. I'm more feminine dominant with my energy, but I also feel like that maybe that's one reason I do understand. I empathize a lot with men. I really do. I used to make content. I could unprivate content where I am talking about how feminism harms us. And I'll never forget this comment this lady left that was like, "Is this a joke? I can't tell if this is a joke or not." And I think I'm like, "Oh, that poor if she could see me now." Maybe she has. Maybe she has seen. We're all allowed to evolve, and I think a lot of us go through that shit in our 20s. I was barely when I made that video. Feminism has harmed us all. No, actually, it gave us all like it brought us to egalitarianism, which like legally, like I said, silly. We still have a lot of work to do. And that includes women, not just men. Some women ain't that aggressive as they think. I think a lot of women, even the most assertive and aggressive women, like in the workforce or what have you, like the public settings, I think most women want a man that they can submit to. I say that word is a reciprocal thing, but you know what I mean. A man that they can be soft, feminine, and have their submissive side. No matter how aggressive and assertive a woman is, she wants to be able to be, more submissive to with man, that one person. In my opinion, often. And a lot of women have become more assertive and masculine dominant to no fault of their own. It's just like, again, products of our society. They were grabbed at, fondled, molested, groped, taken advantage of, and treated as literal objects. And then they decided they had to do everything on their own. And, a lot of us go through a lot every single month. And I think that does lend to how we aren't going through the same things in the workforce and the education. Like, women are pushing through these hard times a little bit more. I think it's because we are more used to adversity. And yes, I've said this before. If men bled every single month, I think that life would revolve around the fact that men bled every single month, most of their adult lives. For everybody that know, I don't have a uterus, so I am free of that. So I have survivor's guilt when I bring it up. Chris, I'm in the army. I don't have time to think about my feminine energy and what dress to wear because I'm without training for our 20-mile ruck next month. Well, it sounds like you're definitely masculine dominant. So I'm sorry, like I don't mean to ever. I hope you don't think I'm trying to say, all men need to explore their feminine side. I'm saying that you should have the option to live however you want to. And the reason why it's such an insult and it's like such a joke to so many for a man to be feminine in any way, to do anything, a feminine characteristic is because of the deep-rooted hate of women, because of how women are looked at as less than, because how women are oppressed. And a lot of that started because, in my opinion, not all men. I'm talking about the men that are psychopathic enough to be the really big CEOs, to be the really big world government leaders. They're psychopaths, they're narcissists, they're the worst of the worst, all under their thumb, men and women alike. You know, the patriarchy affects us all. And still, like, there's plenty, there's truth. Like, men have built society. Good men literally built the infrastructure that keep us safe in the army. They literally do everything we need. So, but like, I'm talking about the men at the very, very top. Um, they, those kind of men, in my opinion, and somebody else with like a PhD explained it like this. They are jealous of how women can give life, and they are always searching after that, especially probably because they don't want to do the actual jobs that make a man feel productive and give man ambition and motivation to keep going, you know, and serve others in their community, doing the hard jobs that nobody else could do but a man, you know? Like, not that all men have to do that, but you know what I mean. They oppress women on purpose because they are jealous of the way that we can literally give life, and they're trying to do that themselves, creating these empires. And they're literally destroying the planet while doing it. You know, you could just like be like, wow, isn't that cool? Like, you're the closest thing to God. You can literally grow a baby, and not only that, you can sustain its life after it's born. The milk that you make, like, that is amazing. It's a true miracle when any person is born relatively healthy. All the things that could go wrong with the human body and utero and everything, you know. HK said I saw a video with Aaron laughing. It was the scariest thing I saw this week. Oh, you're starting to make my brain hurt. Too much intake. Oh, Homer, I'm sorry. You might want to watch somebody else. I know I talk fast and you can't slow it down on the live. I've had a few people tell me I'm talking too fast lately, and I really am trying to like take in the constructive criticism. But when I'm ranting like I was yesterday about like the people saying just buy more houses, like this guy in his 50s, just buy more houses. Are you struggling? Just buy a house and rent it out to somebody. Okay. All right. Just become a landlord like me. It's easy. You just buy another house. When you're done with that house, you buy another one. Okay. Is this fucking Monopoly? No. It was if you were born in 1958 and you got to live through the 80s and the 90s, you know, and then back after 2008. And like I said this before, in the year 2007, the average home buyer was born in 1958. In the year 2024, the average home born in 1958. And this guy, I almost said a bad word, I was talking about, and I didn't say his name because I don't think he's doing anything wrong. He's just, you know, typical realtor, typical boomer. I don't know. Maybe he's too young to be a boomer. Like telling people, all you got to do is just buy some more houses. That's all you have to do. Just buy more houses. Yeah, I'm going to talk fast when I get all worked up, and then I lose my train of thought if I don't. Anyway, never will, so I'm going to go now. Have a good night. I'm sure we'll talk again on the topic of discussion is less controversial. Well, I appreciate being cordial, Chris, if you're still here. I hope you have a good night. Um, yeah, I don't know, like, you know, like I've said, there's like people that believe like people shouldn't exist. Like, I don't agree with that. I think that if you're not causing harm to yourself or somebody else, you should be able to live your life, you know? And I believe that's like a tenet from Wicca. But yes, like Yoder said, that's fine. Thank you for being polite. My mom was in the army, so I get it. Oh yeah, and when it comes, oh, Chris, if you're still here, if you're talking about like things in the army, I don't want my tax dollars to go towards paying for transitional surgeries. Let's just leave it at that. Yeah, she is woke. The stream would be boring if she slept. Oh my God, Mr. Carey. Oh my God, Mr. Carey, that is so funny. She is woke. The stream would be boring if she slept. I love that so much. I want to make that my tagline. Judy Goins, you are talking with friends. Oh, yes, Judy. We're all friends here. It's all good. I have seen you streaming and came in at my own will, Homer said. That's so funny. I feel like my nose is about to drip. I have you propped up on a tissue box. Um, it's all good. Oh, I already read that comment. Don't be mad. You didn't have, I don't know what that means, easy. I don't know what those t-shirts are. Wicca, what in the world? No, Sage, I don't consider myself a Wiccan. I'm just saying, like, when you read, you know, that's like the number one rule is like, hi, Alex, how are you doing? So, yeah, all we need is Bertha in here now. I wouldn't even be mad if my future wife left me for... What does clanker mean? Is that like new slang? I've heard that a few times lately. What does that mean? What can somebody tell me what clanker means? I feel it's so funny to me. Like my 15-year-old will tell me slang words. It was people who lost their houses to fires that just burnt down. Would you okay, why do people ask that so much? I don't even get it. I don't get the tree comment. Is there something I'm not getting that's funny about that or something? It's like a vanity plate that you don't understand. Like I don't get it. What does it mean? Bertha probably ran away with a random guy, Mr. Carey said. Yeah, I really want to hear. So, HK, earlier Aaron was in here saying that Titus Morris kicked his dog, Archie, last night. And I kept asking him details, like, okay, details. But I guess, like I said, he's probably just dropping breadcrumbs, which is fine. Like, go to his channel and try to, subscribe to watch it, whatever. I'm sure he'll make a video about it. I hope he got it on tape, though. But it seems like he would have posted that already. Who knows? But yeah, I wouldn't if Titus kicked a dog. Titus has a shorts. Stephanie filmed a shorts and they're laughing and they filmed this. They talked about it. They filmed it. They posted it. Titus talking about defecating and letting dogs eat it because it's easier than having to bury it. Have no proper outhouse. Mr. I live off grid has like no proper outhouse. People that stayed there so that the people that were volunteering were using 5-gallon buckets and they were like overflowing. And then there's proof somebody that was there, I believe maybe it was Aaron, was somebody was supposed to bury the waste from the bucket and they just like dumped it in the garden. It was going to take like literal years for that bacteria to not be there anymore. Literally, you can just dump human waste. It's possible. And especially it was like fruiting tomatoes at the time. It's just like couldn't be worse. And that's why there's like whenever all the outbreaks, and not all the time, but a lot of the outbreaks, E. coli especially, it's like these farm workers are like using the bathroom in the fields, or they're not washing their hands after they use the bathroom. They're working really hard, they're working really fast. That's where a lot of that comes from. Mr. Carey, I'm the guy she tells you to not worry about. Guy that comments. Okay. Oh my gosh, Joe, I am so dense. Knee. Oh, okay, I get it. I'm not a fan of the racist shit. Not a fan at all. Hi, John, if you're still in here. You don't get today's lingo either, Homer. Well, I wish Aaron would, too bad he didn't kick Aaron. I wish Aaron would have, like, spilled more beans. Spilled a few beans, like usual, just a few. He's gonna wrap up the rest of the bag, keep it all bagged up until he decides he's ready to spill more. I didn't even know how to operate the TV past turning on the power. Oh my gosh, that's so funny, Homer. I know, like the smart TVs. I haven't owned a smart TV. We've had like Roku's plugged into our TV. Gosh, our TV is like 10 years old at least. But yeah. I didn't block. Did anybody block Beyond Category? I didn't see that. I might have missed it, but I didn't personally block you. Did somebody times him out? Don't block Beyond Category. Hold on. I shouldn't say that unless he said something mean about me. Mr. Carey is married and straight. No one blocked Aaron. That's what I thought. I get a notification. Mr. Carey must have blocked me for 5 minutes or something because everything stopped going through. Yeah, it's finicky sometimes. I really didn't see it, Aaron, because it's like a pretty big notification you get. I don't know. You've been live before, but I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. You see, like, I see the mod's name and who they blocked or what they did, how they timed him out. No one blocked him, Yoder said. Oh, I'm sure you did not cry. So, well, now that you're unblocked or what you can talk or whatever, do you want to talk about when Titus kicked your dog last night and give us some details, or do you want to wait to do that on your own channel? I only asked because you started to talk about it. Girlfriend has to find something. I have no clue. Stream services and such. I work a lot, so I don't watch it much. Got lost in time. Yeah, Homer. Same. I don't do Netflix, Hulu, any of that. Like, I just don't. It's a lot to keep up with. I just do YouTube for entertainment now. And now they even have videos on YouTube. You're gonna make a video about me now? Okay, Beyond Category. Woo. Yeah, nothing was done. It was Thursday. Okay, you said that, but I'm asking you, like, any more detail. Do you get it on video? I know you probably know it would be useless, so you didn't try to bother to, like, call the cops and make a police report, right? I don't blame you for not doing that, but of course I have to say, like, did you consider it? I wanted to block him, but that wouldn't be Christian. Aaron has me blocked though. Oh yeah, Aaron. Remember how you told me you blocked Anna and I told you she's not that bad? I didn't want to sift through the dozens and dozens of emails, but I remember telling you she's not that bad. I was like, it's like, I think she might know them. And you're like, oh yeah, I blocked her. And I was like, okay. I just was suspicious that she had ties with Titus. And I think it's funny you would block her, but you didn't block somebody giving you and your son threats. I just think that's funny. Once again, it's the M word. Tommy Melendez cops. I just saw the funniest clip from it was like it's titled 90s Cops was the best cops. It's the funniest shit you'll ever see in your life where the guy is like really inebriated. He has a cop help him break into his own house. Like, he has to hold the window open for him while he crawls through. Have you guys seen this? And he shows him his altar. I'm not kidding. He's showing him his altar, all these snakes. He has all these snakes around his house. He opens his closet door. He's like, she's pregnant. It's a snake. Cop ends up offering him a job. He's like, if we ever need you to catch a snake, can we call you? It was so funny. HK, I know you can appreciate that. It's probably way too much to type here now, and I'm not sure I want to go into it because of potential legal matter, but from my perspective, I'm not really interested in pursuing anything about. Yeah, unfortunately, the way they are about animals in Casey County, it's like that right now, there's probably more to the side, so I'll just let it be. Well, there's always more to say. Like, keep saying the point is it's disturbing, very disturbing to me what he and Stephanie are doing and how they're inviting people in the past that he has. And that's why I focus on it. I don't want to get dragged into a bunch of drama. You're 50 something years old. The fact that you would be like, I'm going to make a video. What are you going to make a video about me saying what? What have I done? What's the point? And do that. I get it. I get it. My chats disappear on channels I don't mod. YouTube is messing with folks' chats sticking. I have friends, it has done it too. Yeah, Jesus in here earlier, he do the same thing. He thought he was blocked and then he's like, oh no, it happened in other chats too. It just wasn't going through. I talk really fast. I'm sorry, Tommy. I talk too fast lately. It's like, I know overall I do it, but like just in the past few days, everybody's saying it, so it must be true. I'm sorry. I'm gonna try hard to work on that, guys. I honestly, truthfully, hand on the Bible, we never blocked or timed Aaron here. Aaron. Lydia, it was lighten up. Oh, Goblin, thanks. I'm married for 15 years. Okay, well, I'm sorry, Beyond Category. Could you blame me for, like, taking that as not a joke? Mr. Carey, I know Aaron just isn't used to actual people making up, Yoder said. Yeah, especially girls. Us girls, we're girly like that. We like women are interested in people, men are interested in things. And that's what has happened with men. And they look at us as things, not the things you're interested in. We're other people like you. And the men that unpack, and like, I'm not saying like either of us are perfect, but I really like, he already, like, my husband would never, ever, ever say any shit like a woman shouldn't be able to vote. Like, is it just never? I know that he sees me as a person. I know he doesn't objectify women. He doesn't partake in things that objectify women. It perturbs him. There are good men out there like that. Once you, I was gonna say desensitize. Gosh, that is not the word. Unpack. What is the word? Retrain your mind. Like we all have to do it. We were all grown up in, like most of us, in a really fucked up environment. Like a lot of people. Most people weren't given a fine balance and a lot more bad influence than good. And it makes me really sad. Like, what's going on right now? I just passed 14 years, but not married, Homer said. Oh, that's nice. That's common law, wherever you are, right? We both like shoal waters, Mr. Carey said. Yes. Um, Tommy, don't generalize good men or just men in general. Recalibrate. If only that was as easy done as said. Learn how to swallow your pride. Say sorry and yes. And I'm very good at that. I believe that's something like um even with my kids, like I didn't get really short with him, but like I kind of got onto my teenager about something. Then I was like my middle son. And then I was like, I'm sorry, I was stressed out with the old. I shouldn't have taken it out on you. I'm really sorry about that. And then the next day I was like, just so you know, I'm sorry to say it again. I feel bad about it, and I was thinking about it again, and I'm really sorry." He's like, "It's okay, it's not a big deal, it's fine." And I don't think it was as big of a deal to him as it was to me, but it's really important to be able to apologize to people, especially our kids. I think that's a big missing piece in society. Um, you were at Show Walters Thursday, Beyond Category said. Aaron, I love the samples they give you when you walk in too. Yeah, I've heard all about these samples. Hi, Natalie. How are you? Brisket. Oh, Natalie, thank you. Hi, Aaron. How are you doing? I remember you, Aaron Harrington. How was your week? We're just having a really chit-chatty live right now. I'm probably going to go fairly soon. My goal was to be on here for an hour. We have a family day tomorrow. I'm excited about that, but I'll definitely be able to get on around 9:30 tomorrow. I always say 9 and then it's like 9:30. I can be on time for work. If we're literally 1 second late, it's a whole point or having whatever. Like when you work on an assembly line, you cannot be late, and it's actually helped me not procrastinate as badly. And all my medical appointments have like primed me to be on time. So I'm trying to do that for YouTube. I'm doing pretty well, Aaron. I had a good week. The week before was tough, and this week was like a lot better. It was nice. We have a few new women on the line. There's like way more men than women. There's like, I don't know, 20 some of us. There was 3 women and now there's 5, so that's nice. And they're really good workers. But yeah, once I leave that job, I have a lot to say about it. And it's not the people there, people, but just the job in general. I enjoy meat sticks. I'm sure Steph does too. LOL, Yoder said. Oh no, Anna. That's so funny, that scary looking face. Or that scared face. I make my own, don't need the store. Yeah, I do make all that stuff from scratch. I would love to do that. Never even had a meat grinder before, but one day. I have a old school egg beater that's like not electric. You just like turn the handle. It's like put away, like in case the grid goes down. But yeah, you send a recipe. Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah, we'd really like to get more into smoking. My husband would like to have a smoker, preserve meat one way. But yeah, hey, beyond category. Did you hear that? It was the cat upstairs. A cat upstairs. Did you? Yeah. Your what video today, Aaron? I did see your shorts. That frozen eggs, haha. No, I didn't see your video about him. You say where Henson admitted to me that grid go down following Titus too much, Hammer said. Yeah. That's why I said it I'm not a complete prepper. I mean, honestly, if we had more money, I probably would be. I probably would. I'd like to have a bunker because of the tornadoes. I'd like to have a storm shelter, a cellar, winter squash, root vegetable storage, canned goods. Why is Aaron's channel called Beyond Category? His category is Titus, and he's bought Beyond it. Are you talking about not Beyond it? I don't know. No, he does make content about other stuff sometimes, to give him that. Titus paid Henson to and me. Oh, and you got that on video, I'm assuming? You made a video about it? And Henson admitted it to me over text. Okay, so you had the text in the video. Yeah, see, that's I don't think you, Aaron, like to give you credit where credit's due. I don't think you would ever be involved in stuff like that. Like from what I've seen, that's why I wanted to stay the F away from Henson Creek, though, Casey County. It was just creepy. I made a video about it late today. Okay, Beyond Category. People that are interested should check out Beyond Category if you're not already subscribed. And Aaron takes a pic swimming with his son. Sorta a dumb idea, in my opinion, Yoder said. Oh, yeah. Hi, V&E sisters. How are you? Yeah, couldn't have been dumber than being a foot away from a rattlesnake. Be careful, Aaron. I'm not trying to like make fun of you. Like seriously, be careful. Like that. I know you've been around snakes before, but you don't want to mess with rattlers, man. I know you know how bad getting bit by a rattler is, right? Um, somebody I know knows a person who lost a leg to a recluse bite. The spider, like, we found I didn't know black widows can get as big. There was a black widow in my backyard. I mean, it was huge. It was so scary looking too. It looked like a Halloween. But I guess I just saw babies before. I haven't seen them before. Joe Schmo, that's Mennonites north of California. Hi, Garish. Hi. I don't know if you're talking to a or you think my name's Lily, but my name is Lydia. If you get bitten, I can just go to Titus Amish remedy. No, I wouldn't rely on that. Yeah, I wouldn't rely on his. Oh my God, that one video he made like a few weeks ago. I just happened to catch the stupidest stuff. I know he's always putting on stupid stuff, Titus. And he's like, look at this infected cut I got. Like, oh, so you're great at taking care of wounds, right? And I was like, I'm gonna make this poultice for the activated charcoal, which I'm all about activated charcoal personally. I've been all about activated charcoal for like almost 2 decades. And he sticks a blade in the right in the it was so disgusting. He's such an exhibitionist. He knows what he's doing. Hair with a slice cut out of it. I hate him. It's disgusting. Any Titus Morris supporters in here right now? Speak your piece. I'm fair. I'm not going to be mean to you. I'd love to know why. There's no reason. There really is no reason. Cabbage poultice. Yeah, right. You pronounced my name beautiful. Thanks. Oh, I'm glad I did that. I try. I don't know where you're from. My grandpa lived in India. My grandpa converted to Hinduism, and yeah, I try. Eek, my brother got a recluse, formed an ulcer about the size of an orange. That sounds awful, Yoder. But in today's world, you never know. Natural disasters seem to happen more and more, yet alone. Hackers and cyber warfare, Homer said. Yeah, it's unfortunate. It's definitely there's definitely global warming happening, and I'm not blaming it all on people. I think that it is possible. It's like natural weather pan. I think it's both. I think it's both. Natural patterns have came to this cycle, but man-made crap doesn't help it. But I don't think I should be taxed for it when, billionaires get to do whatever they want and create way more pollution like in a week with their private jets than most of us would in a lifetime. That's where I draw the line. So you automatically say you believe in like global warming. People automatically think you're completely on the left. It's just so insane how polarized things are. Um, Hello from Pennsylvania. Oh, that's so cool. Hey, Carl. I've never heard of that before. So, what are you like over by like Ohio and Pennsylvania? I do the same thing. It does work, but I wouldn't make a show of it. Gross. Yoder, right, right. Like I understand having to do that. And he didn't talk about sterilize the blade. He just like takes out this fucking switchblade. You should show how you sterilize anything you stick in your body, especially in an already inflamed wound. And you should have definitely like held that over a flame for 60 seconds, dipped it in some rubbing alcohol. It bothers me how we can't get anything better than like 70% rubbing alcohol. God, I just like this bug freaked me out. I'm in a basement. No, I have not eaten rattlesnake. I've eaten gator. Um, the reason I searched Titus, a local told me about the circumcision, and then I searched it, and that's how I found Aaron and Sep to him last year. Anyhow, we all found each other. And Mr. Carey, you found me. You found me, right? Soon after I made my Titus video. By the way, I pretty much know everyone on Hanson Creek and Southport Creek Road at this point. Valley is not happy with Titus. He's burned all bridges now more than ever. Well, that's not surprising, especially with the past that he talks about how like this one woman put a death threat out on him. One woman put a police report out on him. One put EPO out on him. It's like obviously he's burned a lot of bridges in his past. So you seen a firework once? That's cool, Finn. The ER had a field day with that emergency visit. Oh, I bet. Could you imagine a man dressed like him in there? Once again, in the Bible, there wasn't a scalpel. A grown man didn't literally cut all of his foreskin off. That's not how it happened. He nicked himself. It bled. It was blood sacrifice. Since Jesus died on the cross, it was the ultimate blood sacrifice. Nobody needs to do that anymore. FYI. Technically, I mean, I'm not telling anybody what to think. Yeah, I definitely, yeah, Mr. Carey. I made a video after the copyrighted Aaron's court video. That's what prompted me. I was like, oh my gosh, like, no, people have to know about this. But I found out about it. I didn't find out about it, Aaron. I found out about it about somebody. I don't want to say exactly how I found out about it, but Somebody I know found out about it and told me about it. Duh. Somebody in real life was like, "You know that guy, Titus Morris? Yoder talks too much, and that's why people don't talk to him more." Well, people could probably say the same thing about me beyond category. We're just chatty Cathys over here, I guess. Didn't Titus have an EPO on Aaron? It expired or whatever. Stephanie or Titus did put one on him, but right, Aaron, like it's not a thing anymore. That's why you can go over there. Rabbis still circumcised. Yeah, and the most sick rabbis put their mouths on the little babies after they mutilate them. Then they put their freaking mouths on it, give them disease, make them go blind sometimes. They're also sick in the head for tradition, right? That's what like Orthodox do. Not all, but it's so disgusting that happens. Like STDs to little babies. I just heard you all from the Amish newsline, 5 states away. That is so funny in news travels. That's so funny. I wonder if, like, when if it will happen, if somebody in real life will see me and be like, "Oh, I've seen you on YouTube." Like, people say it usually does happen. I think around, like, I don't know, like 30,000 subscribers. I don't think I'm gonna get that far. I'm too opinionated. I feel too strongly about too much, and people are so, like, black and white. You don't think about, every time I get, like, 10 subscribers, I have, like, 2, 3 fall off, which is fine. I'd rather have people if they don't, like what they see or hear. Like, I'd rather have cultivate a community of like-minded people that are like, we can agree to disagree, right? Like I always say, you can understand where somebody's coming from and not agree. And that's like a lost art. Like we need to be able to be like, okay, yeah, I don't agree with you, but you know, all the helmets, raise your hand. I don't get it, Tommy. Oh, thank you, Ellen. I wear glasses. I have horrible eyesight. They're like -6.5. Yeah, I met Titus at the 2023 Apple Festival. My kids got to ride his horse before we knew about all this stuff. See, that's a perfect example. And it's like God brought this all together on purpose. This is the perfect example why people need to be outed like the town slut. People like Titus, like we need to shame people the way they used to do with the Jezebel of the town. Whores decimate communities. Like, people like Titus are for communities. And when you know somebody has a past like he does with horses and children, then they should be kept out of like public events. You're giving children rides horses. There's so many things wrong with that when it comes to him and his past, in my opinion. That's what people need to do what they can when they can. And, now that won't happen again, right, Mr. Carey? If you guys did happen to go to a place, you know to avoid him, not give him access because it's like it's lost upon us normal people. Like every little bit of access you gave to somebody. Oh my gosh, I couldn't imagine he didn't like help put a kid on a horse. There was a janitor once at a homeschool classroom. This janitor thought he was going to help put my kid up on something. He didn't have to touch him the way that he did. We never went back there, okay? Yeah, he, like, caught him when he didn't have to. It's like, "I see you." He saw me see him. We left right after. I know I should have, like, formally complained or whatever, but I could tell it was, like, this woman, I could just tell. It was this woman that looking down on me for being a young mom, and if I was gonna tell her, "That guy, like, placed his hand on my kid's bum," I'm not cool with that. I don't think that your janitor should be touching kids and helping them up on the equipment. That's not cool. Any grown man once again, my husband would never, I know, he would never, oh my god, he would never. It could be one of his kids, and he'd be like, "Can I help him up on that?" Before he just took it upon himself to do he would never just touch somebody's child in a public place. Never. Men of character don't do that. They know better than that, you know? And I'm not accusing Titus of anything. I'm just saying he was giving kids pony rides at an Apple festival. Chances are he may have easily, or a kid's about to fall off a horse. Oh, I'm gonna, you know? Is it just where they go around in a circle, Mr. Carey, like a literal circle? That was the first time and only time I think I've ever been on a horse. It was a little pony in a circle. Remember, Lydia, he was at the library several months ago and winked at my adult son's a dance counselor. Right, right. I do remember that, Mr. Carey, and I believe you. So, um, once again, this like it's lost upon a lot of us, but men like him, they need constant attention from other people, like a constant flirt. And it's like this is what happens a lot of the times. This is why it's not appropriate to spend uber amount of time with somebody of the opposite sex, in my opinion, as a married person. Especially, things get a little dry. And hubby, if you're watching that, talking about us, right? You go through your ups and downs. You feel like you get comfortable with each other, and then all of a sudden you have this other person telling you how great you are. "Ooh, look at you. Ooh," and he's, like, talking to you, lusting after you the way that your husband used to. That feels good. I am not talking from experience. I'm really not. I'm not. Not cheating, really not. I'm sincerely not. I'm saying I can understand that happening. Doesn't make it right. You should have a moral backbone to at least stop it from happening, to at least I'm feeling feelings for another man and I need to like stop spending time around him. That's what a good wife would do, right? Like for the sake of your family. Yes, I do believe in staying for the kids to a certain extent. Not all the time, not in abusive situations. And this is a real hot take. I've had serious conversations with my husband. Would we be together if we didn't need each other the way we have, like financially? Would I have left if I could have financially? A few times I might have, you know. I'd like to think we would have been brought back together, but I also think we're like put to struggle together for a certain amount of years to like grow together. And then you get to the point where like, yeah, like I'm glad we went through all the adversity we went that bonded us even closer. I hope I'm making sense. You lived on Henson Ridge Road, Mr. Carey said. HK, he said he was at the Apple and he met Titus there in 2023. You'll be in Kentucky next month. Yoder. Seriously? Yoder. Really? We're in Kentucky. HK in September 2023. At the Apple Festival, he met Titus. Everyone has their own opinions and perspectives and how they perceive stuff or beings. That's why the world works the way it does. Otherwise, we would all be crazed walking in file. Right, Homer? And I compare it to flowers. Like, wouldn't it be so boring if there was just one kind of flower? Like, just two or three, even. And if we're like flowers, like people can be all be so unique and beautiful. And the more, the better. You know, the more it's the better. The most beautiful gardens are the ones with so much abundance of, so much diversity. Hi, AC. It's okay, HK. There's a lot going on in the chat. Emotional affairs snowball guy that comments exactly, and they say like Facebook is a big cause of affairs lately. Like, oh, it does seem to be people. It's that old flame thing happening a lot too. It's like no, you have to nurture the relationship you have, and like there's a reason why that's an old flame. There's a reason why that relationship ended. And think about like are you gonna like monkey branch to the next person? Well, in a matter of a few years, you're probably gonna be thinking that about that person you're like leaving now. Or it's possible, right? It's possible. I think that there's some sculptist, what's a sculpturer called? Sculptist that said marriage only gets easier and more blissful, and I like to think that. Like ideally, like people that like it's so hard, it is hard, but I hope like it gets easier. I think it does. I think it has. Yeah, it has. And it will only get exceeding easier, right? Yoder, you should link up with Lucky. Well, yeah, wedding. I'll be in Paducah, but with plenty of time to spare as well. Paducah isn't too far. It's a little far, but I definitely don't mind going to Paducah. So I wasn't gonna communication and being able to evolve with each other will most likely be the most beneficial attributes for marriage, Carl said. Yes. A lot of people say they part, and I think about this a lot. Like, we know so like I understand happens. I'm not saying in all the billions of people that doesn't really happen, but I think a lot of times, did you really grow apart? Because uh, the characteristics you are is like the core thing. Like you're like that from a toddler. You know what I'm trying to say? Like the traits I fell in love with, my husband's had his whole life. He will have his whole life. That's not to say that he's not going to change in certain ways, and I don't have to grow with that. But like, I just think like the core of who we are, like that's what you really fall in love with, like somebody's spirit, somebody like things about them that don't really change. And it's weird to me when people are, oh, you grow apart. Or like, don't get married too young. I think it's such a to find your partner in life young. I mean, it's of course it's not meant for everybody, but to like discourage across the board isn't beneficial either. And you see more and more women getting to the point where like they want to have children and they can't because of their age, and that's because we were all taught like we're put under the impression that like we could just wait until the timing's right. Well, often when the timing's right in every other way, you're physically not able to. Yes, definitely. Off to Breckenridge. Okay, well, I want to hear more about all of that for sure. And you need to give me the exact dates. I have a Southern Alabama accent. That's the first time I've ever heard Shawnee Gothic TV. Do you have a YouTube channel, Shawnee Gothic? I like to tell people that have channels to let us know, and we can subscribe to you. When I look them up, I don't find them though. Build the codependence real early. That's Yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying, like, I was saying earlier, there's a submission, like, goes back and forth, you should be serving each other. Codependence is, like has some negative, connotations when it comes to psychology, you know, you don't really wanna be I think you mean it like that though, right, guy that comments? If you can really depend on each other, you know that you can rely I just had to plug my phone in, I'm gonna get off here soon because 'cause I'm gonna have to hold it now. If you can, you know, really rely on each other and be good to each other, know that you're gonna be there for each other no matter what, I think that's the kind of codependence you're talking about. And that is right. Hey, Carrie. Hi, Gamer Plays. I'm gonna be off of here in a few minutes, but I appreciate everybody that stops in. And Aaron, if you're here, I appreciate you. And like, if you are like purely just joking, just trying to like, you know, what's that called? Josh my taters. What's that saying? You really were like, I'm sorry, but I do take the topic of misogyny seriously. And as much as you want to like poke fun at it, I'm never going to laugh with you about that. I'm just not. And to our sisters, number one cause of death during pregnancy, during time with child, isn't the man that got them pregnant. Yeah, then we can talk. Then we can like laugh about it. It's around the week of October 23rd. Tell me I talk too much to my face, Aaron. I'll be behind the counters at the Mennonite stores. Aaron, you'll just hand me the cash. Tell me I talk too much to my face. I love it. I'm very toxic, so chances are I'll attract someone equally toxic. Guy that comments, well, self-awareness is a great attribute to have. um, thinks it's called melting process. Ha 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 ha. I don't get it, TG. I'm the average American woman's height. Oh no, I'm still losing power even though I'm connected to the charger, so I gotta go soon. Mr. Carey, me and Kevin's their buttons. I found you there. Oh, that's funny. You met him somewhere else. Now you're here. I like your name, the Alchemist 333. Three is my favorite number. Three threes. Can't go wrong with three threes. I've always had a thing for the numbers 3, 6, and 9. I really have, genuinely my whole life. I mean it. Like ever since I was a little girl, I was attracted to multiples of three. Just liked it. And I guess Tesla said if everybody could harness the powers of the numbers 3, 6, and 9, like everybody would be so much more powerful. It was interesting. Um, Tommy Melendez, wait, what about pregnancy? I'm sorry, I don't. Tommy, it was so bad. I don't even remember what I said 2 seconds ago. Alchemist is one of my friends, Mr. Carey said. That's cool. And any friend of Carey is a friend of mine. It's such a thing as a melting process. No such thing as frozen forger. Haha. Okay. Well, I'm so glad to hear that Miss Anna is going to be in Kentucky. That is exciting. And that will be a beautiful time of the year. I hope you get to see the leaves change, although I'm sure you have leaves changing up where you are, you know. I'm also always going to be partial to Kentucky. I just love seasons changing. I've lived in Florida and South Florida where the seasons don't change, and I like cry every Christmas, and it's like it's not right. And I know, and I think that Florida can be more beautiful in certain ways. So I'm not trying to like dog it completely, but I have to have a change of season. I love the change of the trees are already happening. Like there's just a tinge of yellow on some trees already, and it's exciting. Oh, you're welcome, the alchemist. I'm glad you appreciate it. Do you have a channel? I can do without, 3 I can do without, 6 and 9 are solidly together. I knew somebody was gonna make a joke about 6 and 9, like, when I said it. Homer dude, do you live in Alaska? HK asks. Bringing the dang Yoder toter stuffed with Amish. Hi, Starkey. How are you tonight? You love Fort Lauderdale. Tell me, I lived in Pompano Beach. I went to school in Broward at Broward Community College for 2 years. No idea. Do not live in Alaska. No. Yeah, you don't. It's one in California. What do you mean by that? It's 106. 3 hours behind. Anna, if you want to subscribe to Alchemist, he's awesome. I want to subscribe to Alchemist because I like that's a sign. Name is a sign. I need to subscribe. And I like subscribing to other YouTubers, especially when they're smaller creators. Someone got to build that dang church, lol. Right. So Aaron, it seems like he would have heard this or known that. Like, I'm worried. Why am I worried? I'm not worried. I'm sleepy. It's late. I'm curious if they didn't have an inspector come by and like say you need to stop this. Like they are finishing the inside of it or whatever, but it's just weird to me. Like oh gosh, you guys. For anybody that doesn't know, we're talking about these YouTubers that raised like over $250,000, technically with all the GoFundMe's together. It was, like, over $350,000, but they had a bunch of legal battles going on too in court, lawyer fees and whatnot, but, they were clear about that with their other GoFundMes, but they raised well over $250,000 for a church that's not done being built yet, and there's this guy that, like, walks around barefoot and, like, preaches in caves and shit, so they, like, assumed if anything, he'd have a more humble church, they weren't expecting this, like, 3, 4-story thing, like, pour concrete foundation and everything. Someone gifted me coffee, that's a sign I need to keep drinking caffeine. Yeah, it is, guy that comments. I went to Germany recently and ate too much bread, Dragon said. I bet it was good though, right? That's probably why you ate too much. I'm sure it was way better than the bread here. And if that's slang for something, what do you think about antinatalism? What a good question, Polati. I understand it. I'm a centrist when it comes to everything. I truly understand antinatalism. I don't agree with it. I think that I have more hope than antinatalists do, but I totally understand their sentiments. I don't agree when it comes to being hateful towards any person or human. Most of them aren't hateful, I don't think, that I've came across. But, I think everybody should be very, very careful with their fertility, especially right now in these times we live in. It's very difficult. So anybody that doesn't know, it's when, like, people believe that people shouldn't procreate anymore. Dang, right, music, he's so messed up that window. I wish I recorded my husband watching it. Amish man cussing left and right. Oh, he was? Oh, I don't think I had the Hi, John Henry, how are you doing? Um, now my phone is charging. I think I'm gonna take a potty break. I'm sorry, you guys. Do you mind telling people in the chat that come in that I'll be right back in literally 2 to 3 minutes? And I'll be able to keep this live going a little bit longer than, you know, if I didn't take a potty break. There you go. Look at the ceiling. Okay, sorry about that. So I think I'm gonna unplug this for a few minutes. I think that the anti-natalist comment was I don't know how many other people are interested, but all the things that I talk about on my channel explains why I understand why people don't believe babies should be brought into this world. Like, what was it? Was it the Quakers or the Shakers that were the same way? And they were a religious group of people that didn't believe in sex and having babies. And like the last one of them passed away fairly recently, like this really old lady. Anyways, I understand because of how evil things are, and just a few short years ago, I wouldn't have said that. That's how much things have changed, and it makes me sad. But I totally understand it. I don't know what APOist is, Dragon. Absolute musicians, we listen to them in California. There's so many great musicians that we probably won't ever hear because the people that they push on us, are just like, not that they're not great, but, not as talented as some of the people that aren't like just over. Plants, industry plants at this point. Like, I was listening to Adele's first album, 19. That was such a good album. Like, and all the new music coming out now, like I haven't listened to much Sabrina Carpenter. What is it? The Chapel Roan. It's like, that doesn't touch anything on 19. Oh my gosh. The Shakers. Thank you, Mr. Carey. That's right. There was in like Naples, Florida. Gosh, I forget the Croatians. There was this park. It's really neat. These people settled there in the early 1900s. For some reason, I want to say the Croatians didn't believe in. Maybe I'm getting that wrong. It's just like, so what's supposed to happen? But in these times, I get it. Like things are so bad, and I honestly feel sincerely bad. Good night, HK. I hope you sleep well. I feel bad about the fact that I brought 3 souls to this earth because, like, things are that bad. I never thought I would feel that way. So, yeah, if you're having children, like, good luck, and I encourage anybody that wants to do it. I think it's worth it if that's what you really want, but okay. Well, maybe I should have just said good night because I feel like my potty break killed the mood. We had a Quaker wedding. Oh, that's cool. HK said good night. Take care, friend. I already said that. Did I say that? See, I'm getting tired. Um, that was so nice that you gifted 10 memberships, Yoder. Thank you for doing that. You've encouraged me. The family I'm spending family day with tomorrow, I'm gonna ask them to help me for a few hours with making some little, like, what, not badges, but like the little emojis for members, because I know that'll be fun. I have a few, I just haven't like made it public yet. I have like flowers and my dogs, and then you guys can like post the little goofy pictures. I'll make some goofy ones of my face. I just like need somebody to motivate me to do it with. You still haven't tinkled yet? Well, I don't know how long since you've tinkled and if that's a concern or not. Yes, Ben and Rose are amazing. If you don't know them, post her a link. Who is that? The Brandenburger family are an bluegrass band. Is that who that is? I like the Mavericks a lot. Remember how we were talking about the Mavericks, Mr. Carey, at night? I looked them up and I was listening to some of their newer, they're still music. Well, one of them has like a serious health condition. I was still out there and getting treatment, whatever surgery he needs, and going back out on the road. Amish. Oh, that's cool. Papu. No one. And third, Fred, Harmony, and are Rosa's siblings. They just posted a new video. Her brother has an amazing voice. It's gonna be time to start listening to Christmas music. I love Christmas music. That's why it's like still August and I'm talking about how it's almost time to start listening to it. Not like the cheesy pop songs. I mean like the real Christmas hymns. Um, like Mary Did You Know and stuff. Oh, do you like the blue light? I thought that was cool. Maybe not. Anyways, we'll definitely do this again tomorrow night. I'm not gonna have a script written up. I'm sorry, you guys. I was gonna wait to say something, but this past week I put my 2 weeks in. Uh, the husband's gonna go back to work full time. Everything's secured, everything's fine. It's just really sad transition, but it's also nice. It's good to know I'm going to be able to stay at home with my youngest and go live with you guys like every night if I want, if we want. It was hard to do because, like, I keep bragging about the benefits. It's so hard to let go of those benefits. Anybody that knows what healthcare is like in our country, but I believe it's in a season, and I got this job of literally life-saving insurance. I got a surgery to remove a cancerous organ. It was as bad as it gets before it's official cancer, and I'd been dealing 10 years. Nobody would give me a hysterectomy because of it, or at least a handful of nobody. I didn't start asking until 5 years ago, and, I just can't help but think it's this amazing insurance I have through my job, or, like, I actually got a doctor to remove it before it got really bad. So I'm like eternally grateful. I'm so grateful for this job. I wish I could tell you what company it was because I know like somebody around here that needed a job. It's such a good company to work for, like such good people. There are still good people. There's good companies that have been in business for like 80 to 100 years that never grew to be too big to fail. You know what I mean? That kind of company that just shits all over everybody that works for them. There's companies that are big, good, stable companies to work for that still care about their employers. They are out there. I mean, all the stuff, all the things that I say that are negative, like we've got to work. Like life is work. Like it's hard to survive. Like but you're working hard to survive. Even if you don't have a job, you know what I mean? It's hard. I do dentistry and we're busy in Los Angeles, but dentistry is very important. I've had good dentists and bad ones, unfortunately, and a really bad one caused me to have a hole in my side. Anyways, I'm sure you're not one of those, right? I'm assuming, I don't know, you might be a dental assistant or something. Hi, Allie and Max. That screen name looks familiar. I don't know if you've been in here before. Are you asking me what the best horror movie is, or are you saying one, Papu? I used to love to watch horror movies, and it's funny to me, like the first time I watched Exorcist was I was scared out of my mind, and the last time I saw some of that movie, I'm like, oh, it's so cheesy now. Like the special effects just aren't special effecting anymore, like with all the movies we have now. But a lot of the stuff they do now. Good night, Yoder. Are you going? I hope you have a great night's sleep. Love you. Good night. The special effects, I feel like it's too much for me. Like I see like a Saw, like those movies, like it's just gore, basically. I don't like that stuff. I used to when I was younger, and then I realized how negatively it affected me. And yeah, I think a lot of that is just a shock value. Well, guys, I'm surprised I stayed on here for 99 minutes talking about nothing, basically. Actually, no, I'm not surprised about that. Why am I saying that? I'm not surprised. I really appreciate you all hanging out. I guess Aaron was saying goodbye. But yeah. Mr. Carey, I hope you have a good night. 4 years, 4 years dental school. Oh yeah, yeah, I know. It's a lot of school. Yeah, and it's awesome that you do that, Joe. Well, I hope everybody has a great end of their weekend. And if I don't see you tomorrow night, I hope I see you soon. Um, love you guys.